with a legend, talking about getting back in the ring and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. During Raw last night, the Wyatt Sicks set their sights on The Miz as a fan posted this clip to X.
Right? It's video footage of me attempting to neutralize the Hall of Famer in the match. I'll make you stars. Your fan is to be proud of. With his forked tongue, searches for those he can deceive. Crawling into their ears, laying eggs of false promises and lies. Seek, and ye shall find.
You got this all wrong. You want Final Testament. I'm not with Final Testament. This is all one big misunderstanding. I'm going to forget about all of it. Okay? You never cared about Final Destiny. We wanted you. You will crawl on your belly through thorn and thistle. Cursed, burdened with the pain you've inflicted on others, as you beg and plead for mercy, until you return to the ground. For dust you are, and dust you will return.
Explaining what he learned during his time wrestling in Japan, AEW star Lance Archer said this to the Hawk's Nest. "I think the thing that I always talked about with Japan in my career and what it helped teach me was it helped me simplify things to the point where I wasn't relying on having to communicate action, emotion, and thing that was going to happen in a match. And the simplification of my style allowed more character to come out. And again, people responded to that. And I've told guys and girls throughout whatever seminar I've ever done, or somebody comes and asks me questions, if you draw them in emotionally and make them care about you, or hate you, or love you, or whatever the case may be, you don't have to do 1,000 things, because they want to love you so much, or they want to hate you so much that when you do one thing, they explode upon that, because they go, I hate you, so I hate that you did that, so boo to you, or I love you, so I love that you did that, so yay to you. And if you can, like I said, draw that emotional connection from that audience, it transcends language. Talking about the importance of the Forbidden Door between AEW and New Japan, Kenny Omega told NJPW in an interview that the way that I used to picture the Forbidden Door, you picture the cartoony door at the pearly gates, you know what I mean? It's like you need that special permission to open that thing up. Now I just feel like it's a revolving door, but you go out one end, you don't come back the other unless you have that passion. It's opened the talent pool so wide, and it's made our roster so diverse with so many options. But if you aren't a complete athlete, if you aren't a complete wrestler, you just can't hang. So is it special? Maybe it's a long smidge of specialness by being able to cross over that plane, but it's made the competition that much stiffer, and it's made the competition that much tougher. You can't succeed now unless you're absolutely not only the best in America, but the best in England, the best in Australia, the best in New Zealand, the best in Japan. You have to be one of the world's best athletes to succeed now in today's global wrestling climate, and I think the Forbidden Door helped facilitate that. Going over a possible final opponent for a retirement match, Jeff Jarrett noted on his My World podcast, so it's definitely got to be somebody younger than me, so 20 years younger, so I've got to look at somebody in their 30s. Oh boy, MJF. I'd like to drag Bryan Danielson's ass down to the ring and just beat the out of him, and then let him tap me out. That'd be fun. For more information regarding Raw moving to Netflix, Wrestling Inc. wrote that WWE Raw is heading to Netflix on January 6th after 30 years on cable television. As WWE prepares for the big streaming debut, new details have emerged about the Netflix premiere, according to Fightful Select. Netflix has mentioned SmackDown stars Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes alongside Raw superstars like CM Punk as wrestlers they hope will be featured on the show, further adding to Netflix's streaming ambivalence to WWE's brand split. SmackDown wrestlers like WWE Tag Team Champions the Motor City Machine Guns, the LWO, Io Sky, and other members of the roster were on hand to film a commercial for Netflix. Also at the commercial filming was Baron Corbin, whose departure from WWE was announced just days after the production. WWE Raw is expected to air from Los Angeles' Intuit Dome on January 6th, though WWE is yet to confirm. Not only was Netflix interested in Cody Rhodes appearing on Raw, the streamer also met with the undisputed WWE champion about a possible movie on Netflix, which is said to have not come to fruition. WWE SmackDown will remain on cable, while WWE NXT will be on broadcast television. Raw is not the only show set to begin streaming in 2025, as AEW programming will be streaming on Max, alongside broadcasting on TBS and TNT. There is no known date for when the Max streaming will begin, as WBD is still working on live broadcast capabilities for the streaming platform, but the simulcast was a highly touted part of AEW's new deal with WBD. Mentioning her 2 singles title reigns in WWE, Liv Morgan told Chris Van Vliet, "When I won the SmackDown title, I was very much in disbelief. That was the pinnacle of my dream coming true, making it to WWE and being champion, winning Money in the Bank, beating Ronda Rousey, and having my first title. That was truly just like, wow, I really did it. I remember just standing on the turnbuckle with my title, looking into the audience and just trying to remember everything about that moment and feeling forever, because I just couldn't believe it. When I won this, it was not that feeling of disbelief of, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I finally did it. This was like, yeah, I won this It was different on that level, and also my confidence was just different. I knew I had earned this, and so I just felt differently about it." There appears to be problems between AEW star Kota Ibushi and Japanese pro wrestling promotion DDT, as Wrestling Inc. wrote that for the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi, it seems all that glitters is not gold. Following a separation between the star and the promotion, he put on the map DDT Pro Wrestling in Japan. Following rumors of the split between Ibushi and the promotion, new details have emerged from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. After Ibushi's last match, a vicious 6-man tag team match on September 8th, it appeared he canceled the rest of his scheduled dates with the promotion. According to an anonymous source who knew the situation, there was a divide backstage on whether Ibushi's returning presence was desired. The source mentioned that some of the younger wrestlers in the back made comments that Ibushi found to be disrespectful. The president of DDT, Sanshiro Takagi, asked the wrestlers to apologize for their actions, but they refused to. Based on the lack of apology, Ibushi took his exit. This week's newsletter did not mention who made the comments in question. However, it did say that some felt this situation was blown out of proportion and should have remained private. Since his departure, all of Ibushi's matches from July 21st to September 8th were removed from the company's streaming platform. For those displeased with Ibushi's comeback, the divide could stem from what the former 2-time DDT Universal Champion Mao called the Golden Star Syndrome, which he described as an influx of popularity popularity for the company, but only for shows on which Ibushi was scheduled. The promotion's popularity would die down when Ibushi was absent. Oppositely, stars like Yuki Ueno found Ibushi's long-awaited return as a blessing in disguise, saying that the company would not be where it is today if it weren't for Ibushi. Either way, Ibushi's star power will carry over wherever he goes next. A part of the AEW roster since last year, a reunion between himself and Kenny Omega could be imminent as the reunited Golden Lovers tag team recently teased photos of their training sessions. Asked if he wanted to end his pro wrestling career in AEW, Adam Cole said this to stick to wrestling. Yes, I believe so. Of course, in pro wrestling, obviously, never say never. You never know what's going to happen, but I love AEW with all of my heart. I love the crew, I love my boss, I love our fans. I absolutely love it here and I have no plans of leaving. During that same interview, Adam Cole talked about his recovery from injury, saying mentally it was incredibly discouraging. Physically, it was definitely one of the biggest challenges I've gone through. Truth be told, my ankle did practically explode. I had to have 2 surgeries within 7 days. I have a cadaver bone, meaning someone else's bone, in my ankle, as well as a bunch of different screws and stuff. The rehab was quite a difficult process, to be expected, but again, the whole time I was just thinking about I got to get back. Then as it got closer and closer, I started feeling better and feeling like myself again. Mentally, you start feeling better. Physically, you start feeling better. Talking about his Uncle Howdy character in WWE, Bo Dallas told Shaq Wrestling, "I'm drawing off of real emotions and what has happened in my life. What I was going through, what I am going through, and keeping my brother's legacy alive. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. I'm being very cathartic with this character. It's releasing a lot for me and I can almost not live without it anymore. So there's directions I know I want it to go and that we all want it to go and where it probably will. But like any other life or character in the world or in a movie, like, it's going to take turns unexpectedly because it's drawing off real emotions and things that happen. I do think Wyatt Sicks has enough presence on WWE and it'll get back to there. There's going to be ups and downs and we're going to come back more explosive than ever and we'll keep that vibe and the feeling that everybody's already seen and take turns that no one saw coming. So I think the future is very exciting and looks very, very bright for the Wyatt Sicks. Speaking about his potential return to the ring following his retirement, The Undertaker told Chris Van Vliet, "I feel pretty good. Yeah, I could do it. I couldn't do it to the standard I want to, but yeah, I mean, I could. There are just certain things I don't feel like I'd be able to do now, but after I did it, I came back and thought, I'm good now. I don't need to do this again. Not saying I wouldn't if they needed something like that again." An issue with WWE star Jacob Fatu has resurfaced, with Ringside News writing that former MLW heavyweight champion Jacob Fatu signed with WWE earlier this year, and he has been on an absolute tear in WWE since his debut back in June. As big a star as he is right now, it appears Fatu has been accused of scamming a non-profit after no-showing a wrestling event. Last year, a local charity called Jake's Network of Hope, a non-profit that helps out underprivileged people, was in for a rude awakening back in April of 2023. During that time, the nonprofit put on a wrestling event fundraiser hosted by Lawrence University. The development director, Jen Harper, revealed that one of her old co-workers was an ex-pro wrestler and they set up a fundraiser. They booked names such as Billy Gunn, Vampiro, Tatanka, Brian Pillman Jr., and then Jacob Fatu. However, when the day came, Jacob Fatu called out the event. event. Jacob called and said it was a family emergency. We gave him the benefit of the doubt, and at Jake's we are 100% about family and said if you can't make it, that's fine. Jen Harper stated that all she wants is that her nonprofit would be reimbursed for the money they spent booking Jacob Fatu and for the plane ticket, which all amounted to $2,633. We rescheduled the flight that he missed originally, and about an hour after that flight took off, we were made aware from him that he won't be coming. After that, he ghosted us, he ghosted the production team that puts together the wrestling show, and he ghosted the person that booked him for us. As seen in a recent Reddit post regarding the incident, the husband of Jake's Network of Hope provided an update and revealed that Jacob Fatu is yet to return the $2,633 that he received for the wrestling show last year. No, unfortunately, he did not pay back the charity. He's a fantastic in-ring performer, and it sucks that this is all I can think about whenever I've seen him since he debuted in WWE. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.